West Ham have made their first signing of the transfer window. I know you could turn around and say 𝕊𝕚𝕚𝕚𝕚. I'm not having that. That was just a little bit of shuffling around of paperwork that got that signing done. So I'm just going to say this is our first signing 2 days before our first competitive match in the 26-27 season. I know it's not a league fixture, but it is our first competitive match. So is that some sort of record, I ask myself? Since there's been a summer transfer window come into being, which is what, I don't know, is that 20 odd years that we've had that in place now? Maybe a bit more? Is that the latest that a team has ever gotten prior to their first competitive fixture? 2 days before they make their first proper signing? I don't know. It's not a great record to have, is it? But anyway, at least we've got it done. Joel Veltman. Now, I made an error yesterday. Some eagle-eyed contributors to the channel mentioned it in the comments on yesterday's video. I've seen it. I haven't responded to the comments because, to be brutally honest, today's been a bit of a whirlwind with work and one thing and another. I just haven't had the time, quite genuinely. I will get into the comments, so forgive me. Please be patient. Appreciate that. But, excuse me, I said Joel Veltman was a centre-back. Well, I'm kind of right, but I'm kind of wrong, because really, he's actually a right-back that can play centre-back, as I sort of later thought. When I got back home, I did the editing and all that, uploaded it to YouTube, and then I all of a sudden had this little voice in my head saying, Rob, are you sure that he's a centre-back? Are you sure he's not a right-back? And I thought, do you know what? I think he is. By that time, it was too late to do anything with the video. I just went, do you know what? It'll go out. I'll probably get picked up on it. I might not. Of course I did. Listen, I get things wrong occasionally. I misspeak. I get things wrong. It is what it is. Albert Einstein, he said in a maths class, he did the 9 times table, didn't he? So the story goes. 1 times 9 is 9. 2 times 9 is 18, etc., etc. And he gets to 10 times 9 and says 91. Everybody starts laughing. And he turned around and said, well, that's interesting. I got 9 mathematical equations absolutely bang on. No one congratulated me. Nobody said a word. I got 1 wrong. Everybody's up in arms. That's life. You make mistakes. Anyway, so he comes in as a right back, which I suspect means the end of the road for the hammer of the year 2 seasons ago, Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Now, that's a shame, but then again, I'm saying it's a shame based upon the Aaron Wan-Bissaka that we saw 2 seasons ago and won the hammer of the year. This player that we got last season was vastly different from the one that we'd seen 12 months earlier. I think he downed tools. He didn't look interested for an awful lot of it. It's really disappointing. There was obviously the situation where he was away with Congo, wasn't he? And he stayed away with them for an extra couple of days. We're in the middle of a relegation fight, mate. I don't know how to tell you this, but we pay your wages. Anyway, what's done is done. Can't undo it. So, yeah, so Veltman comes in. I think probably my concern, 34 years of age, look, I still think he's got something to offer. Probably one of the concerns I would have, he's got no championship experience. Where possible, I'd like to see if we can get players with a little bit of champ experience. He hasn't got it. He's played in the Eredivisie for Ajax, he's played in the Premier League for Brighton. But he'll probably be all right. Wish him the best of luck. There's obviously the development with the World Athletics. I think we're going for the World Athletics in, is it 2029? Well, no, it can't be. Whenever it is, whatever. So London Stadium's already hosted the World Athletics Championship. I think it was 2017. The London or British Athletics, whatever, going for it again. There was obviously a lot of people, a lot of athletes, Keely Hodgkinson being one, who were quite forthright in their view that it should be, West Ham shouldn't stand in the way. And at the time, obviously, the club made a lot of noises about, we're not too sure about that. Well, it looks like there's been a little bit of conversations behind the scenes. And it looks like West Ham aren't going to stand in their way of putting in a bid. Now, what I suspect that means is West Ham have probably used a little bit of leverage. If I had to put money on something, I think we're going to get maybe a financial package that is some sort of compensation, perhaps, or more likely, I would suspect, maybe there's going to be a few little alterations that are going to happen at London Stadium as a little bit of a sweetener. We'll wait and see. We'll wait and see. Troy Parrott. Tottenham have a 20%, excuse me, 20% sell-on clause. So if Troy Parrott goes for the price that I've heard, which is believed to be 25 mil, then Tottenham Hotspur stand to get 5 million quid. Now, if we're the team that buys Troy Parrott, if we're the ones that end up effectively giving Tottenham Hotspur 5 million quid, that kind of sticks in the craw a little bit, but they've given us 85 million, so we're 80 million pounds up in that, so I take that as a win. That's absolutely fine. As I understand it, squad numbers have been released. Edson Alvarez has got number 4. Now, does that mean that he has a future at West Ham after all? I'm really pleased if he has. He's a player that, I know people say he picks up yellow cards and all the rest of it, but I'll tell you what you can't deny. He's got a passion, he's got a fighting spirit in him, and we didn't really have that last season so much. Certainly not in that first half of the season. Maybe if we'd have had that, maybe, just maybe, we would have been okay as far as Premier League survival is concerned. But it is what it is. We are where we are, not where we want to be. So, a few other things to mention. Obviously, Disasi. We're still waiting on a decision from him. As I understand it, Palace are putting in their offer. Disasi's waiting to see what else materialises. Look, that's his right. It's inconvenient for us. It frustrates me, don't get me wrong. But looking at it from the player's side, I can completely understand him sort of saying, do you know what? I'm going to assess my options and see what's what. Now, what do I think will happen? Well, truth be told, I think we are not the favourites in this one. Let's be completely realistic. So, Axel Disasi, I would suspect, currently resides somewhere around Cobham. That's where Chelsea's training facility is. So I suspect that Axel probably has a residence in the Cobham area, whether it's Leatherhead or something like that, I don't know. Now, if he goes to Crystal Palace, then that basically means he probably won't be have to move, will he? If he moves to us, well, he don't have to move, I suppose, but it probably means a little bit more of a journey, which is a bit of an inconvenience, I suppose. But then the two real big reasons why he could choose Palace over us, pretty obvious ones when you think about it. They can give him Premier League football, we can't. They can also give him Europa League football, we can't. So I really suspect, unless Axel really wants to listen to his auntie, he will probably end up going to the Eagles. The one thing that gives me a little bit of solace on that, from what I understand, Palace are effectively treating Axel Disasi as a signing of a last resort, is what I've heard. Well, if you're Axel Disasi, surely if you are aware of that, that might be what tips it in our favour. Because you know that you'd be going to Palace as basically, you know, oh, go on then. You know, like when you have a game of football at school and it's the little fat kid that gets picked last, isn't it? Oh, go on then. Oh, we'll have you. We'll put you in goal. Kind of like that. Does he really want to go there under that pretense? Or does he want to go to a club where he would be appreciated, he would walk into the first 11, he would pretty much be guaranteed to play every single game? That's probably the one factor that would work in our favour. But we'll wait and see. Manor Solomon, looks like that deal is at the moment on pause. I don't think it's anything to do with the valuation that Tottenham Hotspur have and what we're prepared to pay. As I understand it, it's something to do with bonuses or something like that. What I'm not really too clear on is whether it's Tottenham that want the bonuses, I believe it's got something to do with if we get promoted, or whether it's the player that's demanding them. Not really sure. I've been doing a lot of sort of stuff at work. I've been in an office for most of the day. I've just sort of caught up on a few little bits and pieces, and I just wanted to put this video out there just to get your thoughts, your opinions, get my thoughts out there for what it's worth. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell. So get your comments in the section below. I'd be really genuinely curious to know what you think about some of my musings. So get stuck into that. Please, as always, drop a like and give a hype to this particular production and share it onto your socials just to boost the exposure a little bit more. And if I do the editing right anyway, in the top left hand corner you'll see a QR code. If you get out your mobile device and scan that, it takes you to our YouTube subscription page, and subscribing to the channel is free, data safe, only takes a couple of seconds of your time. Always appreciate your support, guys, really I do. So I am going to bid you all a fond farewell, and until the next time, come on you irons.